Hello and welcome to an overview demonstration of the CloudBolt Cloud Management Platform. In this video, we're going to be covering off really an overview of everything that CloudBolt does to include the self-service catalog. We'll dive a little bit deeper into blueprints and the order process. We'll then move into resource management, talk about the life cycle of the different types of cloud resources that CloudBolt helps to manage. We'll then look at some day two operations on those resources. And finally, we'll close things out with talking about CloudBolt's best-in-class extensibility. Let's go ahead and get started. With the CloudBolt self-service catalog, we're able to provide on-demand access to cloud-based resources. This helps to eliminate IT bottlenecks, and you'll see some samples here where customers can deploy cloud infrastructure, application stacks, or workflows. CloudBolt blueprints allow us to govern how we're going to provision each of these resources. So governance by design is built into this process. CloudBolt does offer something that we call cost previews, where we can see here where we can compare the base cost for each of the different environments that this particular blueprint is capable of being provisioned to, where we can go through, make our selections. We can see that role-based access controls are in play here, where my group is only able to provision to a certain subset of the different environments that we may have available. After we've made our selection of where this workload is going to get deployed, we can continue down the road and put in some additional input. This particular field, we'll see this when this creates my website. This is going to be the title for the website, so we can show that this is a brand new site that was just created as a result of the output of this blueprint. So let's go ahead and submit the order. Again, the big idea here is we can get an idea of the cost of the resources that are being provisioned, as well as governance by design. Notice as a user in the CloudBolt sales group, I really can't even make any big decisions here. I can't impact the size. I can't change the network. All of that has been pre-decided for me by my platform or my cloud engineering team. So let's submit this request. And while the order is provisioning, CloudBolt's order process, when we automate a blueprint, this enables us to deliver resources fast. CloudBolt automation, chains all of the things together to get our workloads provisioned in the fastest method possible. Approvals can be baked in. This particular request, we've set it for an auto approval, but if this needed to be approved by maybe a group manager or sent to an additional system of record like a ServiceNow, that's something that CloudBolt helps our customers with all the time. Now we're going to take a look while we're waiting for this order to process at the servers tab. We're just going to look at kind of cross-cloud visibility. You can see here there are a number of different resources. Notice they all belong in the CloudBolt sales group. And the reason for that is because I'm logged in as a user of the CloudBolt sales group that only has permissions to this group. So role-based access controls are present throughout the system. I can't view resources that I haven't been given permissions to view in the first place. And second of all, we can view these resources across clouds. So being able to see resources that are provisioned in AWS or VMware or Azure, anywhere that my group has permissions to deploy these resources, we would be able to unify the view for those provisioned resources. We can also see here's the current server that we've just requested is provisioning. Let's select a different one of these from the same blueprint just to see an example of what's available inside of the environment. You can also see here different statistics, like the darker colored ones are powered on. The lighter colored ones have already been powered off because they're going through our lease cycle to tear them down. But let's select this particular server here. You'll notice as a user that isn't an owner of this server, I only see a limited subset of actions because we have privileged roles for owners in my specific scenario where owners can take more actions against the resource. So this is another CloudBolt static website that we've provisioned. You can see the server here. It is powered on. Again, actions are controlled by role-based access controls and who I am within the group and the specific permissions that have been granted to me. These day two actions can be customized for your environment. They could be things like allowing your users to reconfigure resources, take power actions against them, or even install software. Anything that relates to the server object itself or the resource that we're provisioning, doesn't matter what kind of cloud resource it is, can be added as a day two action here in CloudBolt. Let's take a look at our order and just see how things are progressing. So we can see it's continuing to move down the chain. We've now built the server and we're going through the process to do some further configuration inside of the server where we're setting up monitoring. We're then installing the web server technology. As an end user, I don't really care about any of this, but if we want to surface that to the end user, I can see exactly what step this particular blueprint is taking. And we can see the orchestrated installation of the things that really back up the application that we're building as a result of this blueprint execution. So we can see here now, this particular blueprint is now finished. So I can go to the resource that was provisioned. We can see the server. And from here, what you'll notice is the change in day 2 actions that are available as an owner of this resource. You'll see that there are a number of different actions that are available because this is a resource that I own. I'm given more permissions inside of this group. Again, this is completely tailorable to your specific requirements. The server was just built. You'll start to see little pieces of CloudBolt's extensibility. CloudBolt does offer best-in-class Python-backed extensibility. Python is a language of automation. It makes it very easy for teams to both ramp up quickly on the system as well as tailor the system to their needs. One example of that is just adding an additional, we call these parameters, but this is something that enables me to store some metadata about the resource that the end user can get some usability out of. So we can see the actual website that was built on top of that server, so the product of the blueprint that we created. You can see the title that was set based off of the inputs that we submitted in the blueprint. Just showing kind of the end product of what an output of a blueprint could look like. Again, some minor extensibility here. And then if we take a look at this monitoring tab here, this goes a little bit deeper in the CloudBolt UI extensibility. This is what we call a UI extension. CloudBolt offers you to extend components across the entire platform. And that also includes modifying the user interface to maybe talk to external systems to pull in data about the workload in question. This enables our end users really for our organization, we can centralize all of the systems that a particular resource may need to talk to and pull that data into the system. CloudBolt has a number of out-of-the-box UI extensions that you can include from what we call our content library, or a number of our customers build their own as well. So we want to make this platform very accessible from an extensibility standpoint to our end customers. Just going to refresh. Usually when we first build a server, it's not generating any monitoring data, but very quickly we can already see this is now generating monitoring data. It's getting picked up by our Prometheus server, and we're already starting to see some of that good, real, in-depth data about the actual performance pulled from an external system via API calls here in CloudBolt.